All right, so getting ready for a job interview
Yeah.
can be pretty nerve-wracking, especially for a position like a clarifier.
Right.
But you know what? That's why we're here today.
That's right.
We're going to do a deep dive into all things clarifier interview prep
Yeah.
using some fantastic resources
Yeah.
from RoleCatcher.
It's a great platform.
It is, and
Mhm.
it uses AI
Yeah.
to help really tailor your answers for those specific job roles.
Mhm.
So it's like having a
Yeah.
secret weapon.
Absolutely.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the interview,
Yeah.
let's set the scene a bit.
Okay.
What does a clarifier actually do?
Right.
I was looking at the career guide
Yeah.
on RoleCatcher,
Thanks a start.
and the description,
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting.
It is.
It's more hands-on
right.
than I think people might think.
You're not just sitting at a desk. You're in a plant.
Yeah.
They're working with these big tanks
Mhm.
filled with oil. And you're the one making sure that those oils are purified.
To the highest standard.
Exactly.
They even mention things like heating tanks with steam,
You got to heat those tanks.
using strainers,
Yeah.
even skimming off impurities.
Yeah. You're really in there.
It sounds very active.
Yo, yeah.
You're not just pushing buttons.
No.
You're using your skills
Yeah, right.
and knowledge.
It's kind of like a chef.
Oh, yeah.
Separating ingredients to
Well,
make
yeah.
a perfect dish.
But on a much larger
An
scale.
industrial scale? That's right.
Exactly. And the scope section of the guide
Yeah.
really emphasizes quality and efficiency.
Yeah.
So it's not just getting the job done.
You've got to be high quality, efficient.
It's got to be done well.
That's right.
Exactly. And the work environment
Yeah.
can be pretty demanding.
It can.
You're on your feet a lot,
Oh.
working with machinery,
Mm-hmm.
following all these safety procedures.
Yeah.
Attention to detail is key.
App.
Yeah, but let's be real. What's probably keeping you up at night right now
I know.
is the interview itself.
Yeah, the interview.
So let's dive into RoleCatcher's
Okay.
interview guide
Yeah.
and tackle some of these common questions.
That's a great idea.
The more prepared you are,
Mm-hmm.
the more confident you'll feel walking into that room.
Absolutely.
Okay, first question.
Okay.
Can you explain what the role of a clarifier entails? Seems pretty straightforward. But I
Yeah.
bet there's more to it than just like listing tasks.
Right.
No.
They want to see
Yeah.
that you understand the role, not just read a description.
Right.
So instead of listing all your duties,
Yeah.
paint a picture for them.
Okay.
Explain why clarification is important,
Okay.
how it impacts the final product. Talk about the equipment you've used.
Okay, so like as a clarifier, I play a crucial role in ensuring the purity of oils which directly impact the quality of the final product. I achieve this through a multi-step process involving heating, straining, and skimming.
There you go.
Something like that.
Yeah. You're showing your knowledge,
Yeah.
and you're communicating clearly.
Okay, and I bet they might ask
Oh, yeah,
of specific types of oils you've worked with.
for sure.
Right.
Or challenges you've faced.
Yeah.
Maintaining those quality standards.
Just be prepared to go a
Right.
little deeper.
Beyond the surface.
Exactly.
Show them that you've got that experience.
Okay, that was a good warm-up.
Yeah.
Let's get into some meatier questions.
Okay.
This one's interesting.
Right.
Can you describe your experience with requirement analysis and clarification? RoleCatcher suggests highlighting experience with different techniques,
Yeah.
things like use case modeling or prototyping. Do those sound familiar?
Oh, yeah, those are common tools. But don't just say you're good at something.
Right.
Show them.
Yeah.
Talk about a specific project
Yeah.
where you had to clarify requirements. What steps did you take?
Yeah.
And what were the results?
So instead of saying like, I'm great at use case modeling,
Right.
I could say, in a previous project, I used use case modeling to clarify conflicting stakeholder needs, which resulted in a 15% reduction in project delays.
Perfect.
Numbers
Yeah, numbers are great.
speak volumes.
They do.
And RoleCatcher's AI
Yes.
can analyze your answers to this question
Right.
and suggest ways to tailor them even further.
That's right.
It's like having a personal interview coach.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, question number 3.
Right.
How do you ensure that requirements are clearly defined and understood by all stakeholders? This one seems to be all about communication.
It is,
Right.
but it's about clear, concise communication for different audiences.
Right.
You've got your engineers, your managers, your clients.
Yeah, they all need to understand
Yeah.
what's going on.
Exactly.
So I need to be mindful of who I'm talking to
Absolutely.
and adjust my communication style accordingly.
Right.
So for engineers, maybe I focus on
The technical details.
the data points.
Yeah.
For managers, maybe the impact on the project timeline.
And the budget.
And the budget, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And for clients, you know,
What are the benefits?
yeah, how does it align with their goals?
Exactly.
So I could say something like,
Yeah.
I always start by actively listening to each stakeholder to understand their needs and concerns. Then I use clear and concise documentation, like flowcharts or diagrams, to explain complex requirements in a way that's tailored to their understanding.
That's great.
Does that hit the mark?
It does.
Okay.
You're showing active listening,
Yeah.
adaptable communication,
Mm-hmm.
and those visual aids.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling more confident already.
Good.
Let's keep this momentum going.
Right.
Question 4 is all about prioritization.
Okay.
How do you prioritize requirements when there are conflicting stakeholder priorities?
Mm.
I imagine this happens all the time.
It does.
In a role like this,
You're juggling all those priorities,
Right.
and you got to keep them all in the air.
without dropping any.
Exactly.
So they're looking for my problem-solving skills.
They are.
Do you have any tips on how to approach this one?
Well, first, acknowledge that those conflicting priorities are normal. They happen on every project.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about the techniques you use
Okay.
to navigate those situations
Yeah.
and give a specific example.
Okay, so I could say something like, when faced with conflicting priorities, I start by conducting a stakeholder analysis to understand each person's level of influence and interest. Then I use a prioritization matrix to rank requirements based on their impact and urgency. For example, in a previous project.
Perfect.
And then I launch into a story
Exactly.
about how I successfully navigated a tricky situation.
Be specific.
Right.
Tell them exactly how you resolved it.
What steps you took.
What was the outcome?
The outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Uh-huh.
Explain the process.
Right.
Illustrate with an example.
That's a good approach.
Okay, let's tackle another one.
All right.
Question 5.
Okay.
How do you manage scope creep during a project? I'm guessing they want to know if I can keep things from spiraling out of control.
Yeah. Scope creep
Yeah,
is a project manager's worst nightmare.
that's a good way to put it.
You got to keep those boundaries strong.
Okay, so how do I build that wall?
The communication.
Okay.
Clear communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
Establish those boundaries.
Yeah.
Document any changes
Mm-hmm.
and make sure everyone's on board
Yeah.
before you make changes.
Got it.
Transparency,
Yeah.
proactive communication.
So I could say something like, to prevent scope creep, I start by clearly defining the project scope and getting sign-off from all stakeholders. I then establish a change control process to manage any requested modifications. For example, in a previous project.
There you go.
And I'd share a story
Exactly.
about how I successfully managed
Uh-huh.
potential scope creep situation.
And don't be afraid to mention specific tools.
Right?
Change control boards.
Well,
Scope reviews.
showing I've actually walked the walk.
That's right.
Okay, this is great.
Yeah.
I'm feeling way more prepared already.
Good.
Let's keep going, shall we?
Let's do it.
Question 6 gets a little personal.
Okay.
Can you describe a time when you had to resolve conflicting requirements?
Okay.
They want to see you in action.
Right.
Choose a good example where you dealt with clashing requirements.
So instead of just saying,
Yeah.
I'm a great mediator.
I could say, in a previous project, I faced a situation where the engineering team's requirements clashed with the client's budget constraints. To resolve this,
Perfect.
and then I described the specific steps I took.
Walk them through the conflict, your approach,
Yeah.
and the outcome.
And focus on my diplomacy,
Right.
my communication skills,
Uh-huh.
and finding a compromise that satisfied everyone.
Exactly. Okay. Show, don't tell.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep rolling with these questions.
All right.
Up next.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that all stakeholders are involved in the requirement clarification process? Feels like this ties back to that communication piece we were talking about earlier.
It does.
Right.
This is about getting everyone on board
Right from the start.
from the get-go.
So it's not just about clarifying the requirement.
Right.
It's about making sure everyone feels heard
Heard and understood.
and understood throughout the process.
Exactly.
Okay, so highlight my collaborative approach.
Yeah.
Mention things like workshops,
Workshops,
brainstorming sessions.
even informal check-ins.
Okay, maybe specific tools that I've used, like shared documents, online surveys,
Good.
or even regular email updates.
Keep everyone in the loop.
Keep everyone in the loop.
Yeah.
All right, on to question 8.
Okay.
How do you ensure that requirements are testable and measurable? This one sounds a little bit more technical.
It is vague requirements
Yeah.
cause problems.
Right.
So they want someone who can be specific.
Right. Break things down
Measurable.
into concrete, measurable criteria.
That can be tested
Yeah.
and validated.
It's like if a recipe just says,
Yeah.
add some sugar,
Right.
you're going to have a hard
You
time
don't get consistent results.
getting a consistent cake.
Exactly.
But if it says add 1 cup of sugar,
Much better
then you're setting yourself up
for success.
for success.
That's right.
Okay, so talk about how I break down broad requirements
Yeah.
into those specific measurable criteria.
And don't be afraid to get technical. Talk
Yeah.
about KPIs,
Yeah.
acceptance criteria.
So for example, instead of saying, I make sure the requirements are clear,
Right.
I could say, to ensure testability, I defined key performance indicators for each requirement. For example, for a requirement to improve oil purity, I might set a KPI of 99.9% purity based on industry standards. This way, we can objectively measure whether we've met the requirement.
Perfect.
Okay.
Showing attention to detail. Critical thinking.
Okay, one more question to go.
Right.
This one popped up
Okay.
in the Advancing Your Career section of the Career Guide as well.
Uh-huh.
Can you describe your experience with agile methodologies?
Interesting.
Is agile something every clarifier needs to know?
It's becoming more and more common,
Okay.
so it's worth talking about.
Yeah.
Even if you haven't worked in a fully agile environment,
Right.
be ready to talk about
Yeah.
the basic principles.
Okay.
Iterative development. Continuous feedback, collaboration.
So even if I haven't used specific agile frameworks like Scrum or Kanban,
Right.
I can still talk about how I've applied those principles.
Exactly.
Breaking down tasks,
Uh-huh.
prioritizing work,
Mm-hmm.
seeking feedback regularly.
That's right.
And if I have used those specific frameworks,
Yeah.
definitely mention those as well.
Of course.
Okay, that's incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from understanding the clarifier role
Mm-hmm.
to tackling
Yeah.
some of those toughest interview questions.
Those are some tough ones.
I'm already feeling more confident
Good.
about walking in that interview room.
Preparation is key.
Yes.
The more you practice,
Mhm.
the better you'll do.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
let's touch on some of those career advancement tips
Sounds good.
from the Career Guide.
Yeah.
It's never too early
Right.
to start thinking about
Absolutely.
your long-term career goals.
Yep.
And the Career Guide emphasizes
It does.
the importance of continuous learning.
So important.
They specifically mention
Yeah.
attending training programs, workshops
Mm-hmm.
related to
Yeah.
equipment operation,
Yeah.
oil processing techniques.
It's an evolving industry.
It is.
You got to stay up to date.
Stay up to date.
Yeah.
And it shows initiative.
It does.
It tells them you're not just looking for a job.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for a career.
Exactly.
And they even mention
Yeah.
creating a portfolio.
A portfolio is a great idea
Yeah.
of your successful projects.
Yeah. Show and tell
Uh-huh.
for your career.
That's right.
And of course, networking is always key too.
Oh, yeah. Networking's huge.
The Career Guide mentions
Yeah.
industry events,
Mm-hmm.
online forums,
Good ways to connect.
as ways to connect with other professionals.
Absolutely.
This is all fantastic advice.
It is.
Feeling so much more prepared
Good.
and confident
Yeah.
about this interview already.
Yeah. This is just the beginning of our deep dive.
Yeah.
We've got more to explore,
More to explore.
including some AI tools
I know. I can't wait.
to help you take it to the next level.
Yes,
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. So we talked about a lot of interview prep,
We have.
but before we get to RoleCatcher's AI tools,
Mm-hmm.
let's take a quick detour
Okay.
back to the Career Guide.
Yeah. Sounds good.
It's easy to get caught up in the interview,
Right.
but it's important to think about your future.
Your long-term goals.
Yeah, in this field.
Absolutely.
Remember, you're not just looking for a job.
Right.
You're launching a career.
That's right.
And the Career Guide
Yeah.
actually outlines some pretty interesting
It does.
advancement paths for clarifiers.
Yeah. For example,
Okay.
you could become a supervisor
Ah,
overseeing a team of clarifiers.
clarifier boss.
That's right.
I like it.
Making sure
Yeah.
everything's running smoothly,
Quality control.
quality control, exactly.
Across the board.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
you could specialize in a particular type of oil processing. You could be the
Ratcheting.
expert on
Yeah.
that specific type of oil.
The go-to person.
That's right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
The possibilities
Yeah.
are really exciting.
They are.
And they even have example profiles
They do.
in the Career Guide
Uh-huh.
for clarifiers at different stages of
Yeah.
their careers.
So you can see
Yeah.
what that trajectory could look like.
It's like a roadmap
It is a roadmap.
to success.
That's right.
Okay. enough daydreaming about the future.
Yeah.
Let's get back to
reality.
acing this interview.
That's right.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI tools come in.
Yes. Time to unleash the secret weapon?
Yes. Let's talk about how RoleCatcher can help us tailor our answers and get that competitive edge.
Well, one of the most powerful features is the AI CV and resume tailoring. You upload your existing documents.
Yeah.
And RoleCatcher analyzes them against the job description.
Oh, wow.
Highlights areas for improvement.
It's amazing.
It's like having a career coach.
Yeah, but more affordable.
Much more affordable.
I'm sure you're going to love this next feature.
Okay, what is it?
Practice interview questions.
Ooh.
With AI feedback.
I like it.
This is where RoleCatcher really shines.
Okay.
You can record yourself answering common interview questions.
Yeah.
And get instant feedback
Really?
from RoleCatcher's AI.
Wow.
It analyzes your speech patterns, your body language, even the content of your answers.
That's incredible.
It's like having a mock interview.
It is.
With an AI coach.
That's amazing.
And there's even a video practice option.
Really?
You can actually see yourself on camera and get feedback.
On how you present yourself.
On my overall presentations.
Yeah.
Like having your own personal film crew and director.
That's incredible.
Okay, RoleCatcher's less of a secret weapon now.
Right.
And more like a full-on arsenal.
It's packed with tools.
It is.
And resources.
All right, how do we access all this awesomeness?
Okay.
Tell me about the different tiers.
Well, they have a free version, which is great to get started.
Yeah.
You get the career guides, sample interview questions, CV, and resume analysis.
That's already a ton of value.
It is.
But if you really want to take it to the next level, there's the Copilot subscription.
The Copilot subscription unlocks all the AI features.
Right, all the good stuff.
The video practice, the personalized feedback.
Like having a personal AI assistant.
Right.
Dedicated to my career success.
Exactly.
Sign me up.
I knew you'd like that.
For the Copilot.
And it's ad-free?
Oh, even better.
So you can just focus on your prep.
Okay, I'm sold.
Okay.
RoleCatcher sounds like a game changer.
It is a game changer.
For anyone looking to ace their interviews.
Absolutely.
And launch their dream career.
That's right.
Okay, we're back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of the Clarifier.
It's been a journey.
It has.
We've covered a lot of ground.
From the technical aspects to those tricky interview questions.
And of course, RoleCatcher's AI tools to give you that extra edge.
But before we wrap things up, it's important to
take a step back and reflect.
What are some of the key takeaways?
Well, first and foremost, understand the role inside and out.
Inside and out.
We talked about the hands-on work, the demanding environment, the emphasis on quality, efficiency, all of that. Going into that interview with a solid understanding will show that you're prepared.
And that you're genuinely interested.
Exactly.
Knowledge is power.
It is.
Especially when it comes to job interviews.
Absolutely.
And speaking of interviews.
Yes.
We spent a lot of time.
We did.
Dissecting those common questions.
Those tough questions.
And crafting those compelling answers.
Right. And I hope our listeners feel more confident in their ability to articulate their skills and experience.
And their problem-solving abilities.
Exactly.
And it's not just about reciting facts.
It's about showing how you think and how you adapt.
And we can't forget about the power of storytelling.
Oh, yeah, storytelling.
Using examples from your past experience.
To bring those answers to life.
Yeah.
Make them memorable.
I love it.
It's one thing to say you're a good communicator, but it's another to tell a story.
Right.
About a time you really nailed it.
Yeah, those anecdotes.
Yeah.
They're going to stick with the interviewer.
They will.
And of course, we can't forget about RoleCatcher.
No.
It's a game changer.
A game changer, for sure.
For job seekers.
Absolutely.
It provides everything from career guidance to AI-powered interview practice.
It's amazing.
The video feedback feature.
I know.
Still blows me away.
It's like having a coach in your pocket.
And the fact that they have a free version.
It's accessible to everyone.
Amazing.
It is.
Okay, before we sign off,
I
want to circle back to that question we posed.
Yeah.
What personal qualities make an exceptional clarifier?
What are those intangible qualities?
What are those intangible qualities?
That make a difference.
Yeah.
It's those qualities that often make the biggest difference.
A keen eye for detail.
Yes.
A strong sense of responsibility.
Absolutely.
A knack for problem solving.
And a genuine passion.
Yeah, a genuine passion for the work.
That's the secret sauce.
I love it, the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Turns a qualified candidate
into an exceptional clarifier.
And I encourage our listeners
to
really reflect on these qualities as they prepare for their interviews.
Think about how you embody those traits.
How can you showcase them?
In the interview.
It's about showing them that you're not just a skilled worker,
but a valuable asset to the company.
And remember, confidence is key.
Confidence is key.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in your abilities.
And the value.
that
you bring.
That's right.
With the right preparation and a positive mindset.
Yeah.
You got this.
You can ace this interview.
Absolutely.
Okay. I think we've reached the end.
We have.
For our deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
It has been.
Guiding you through this process.
We've covered a lot of ground.
A lot of ground.
But I hope our listener feels empowered and equipped.
That interview.
With confidence. And clarity.
Absolutely.
And remember,
yes,
the journey doesn't end here.
It doesn't.
Continuous learning.
Right.
Networking. A commitment to excellence.
All those things.
Will serve you well.
Throughout your career?
Throughout your career as a clarifier.
That's right.
Well said.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, we wish you the best of luck.
Best of luck.
In your job search.
Go get them.
Go out there and crush it.